Did you find that? No.
What?
That.
No, I got it for my birthday.
Wow, is that ever nice? My whole concern now is for the kind of issues, the kind of world that my grandchildren are going to grow up in.
There you go. David Suzuki and grandchildren, a sample of the kind of program you're going to see on Suzuki at 80. One of the co-producers of that special program is Daniel Zuckerbrot, and he's here with me in studio, and I'm so glad to meet you. Thank you for coming in. Number one, can I just say, it is impossible to me that David Suzuki is 80 years old.
Yeah, it's the big shock, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah, it's the big shock.
What does he think about turning 80?
Well, he's of mixed minds. You know, I think he realizes that he's in great shape. You know, he's going strong, and but he also realizes that he is, as he always says, he's an elder.
An elder.
You know, he's at that stage of life where, you know, even if he has a long and healthy life, how much longer will it be? And
doesn't he call it the death zone in the
death
program?
zone,
Oh my goodness.
He does.
Which is a little bit morbid, but it has allowed him the freedom to speak his mind.
Right, and he's very, very sensitive to that and values that.
So we're going to see tonight, I mean, it's really interesting. There's a major life milestone, but we have tracked David Suzuki and the program, The Nature of Things, through many milestones. And it must have been hard to decide how to mark this one. So what have you done with the special that is different?
No, you're absolutely right. When Sue Dando, the executive producer of The Nature of Things, approached us, the challenge she gave us was, we want to celebrate David's birthday, but we don't want to repeat what people have seen before. You know, David is, as you say, like this, you know, the great Canadian icon. So there's been biographies by other people. There's been biographical films. He's written autobiographies. So our challenge was to find a different David Suzuki, and I think you'll agree that we succeed, I think, for more or less in doing that. And the David Suzuki you'll see isn't David Suzuki the environmentalist, or David Suzuki the activist, or David Suzuki the scientist. It is, as you suggest, David Suzuki the grandfather, and David Suzuki the husband, and David Suzuki the guy.
So let's play a little bit of tape to talk about David Suzuki, the husband, as Canadians perhaps haven't seen him before. Here's something from tonight's documentary.
This is such a corny story that people don't believe it.
It was an exciting story. I think we were like two fishermen, each catching each other, reeling each other in.
Our lines got tangled up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then that was December the 10th. I got home to Vancouver on December the 18th, and we were engaged on New Year's Eve. That's
married exactly a year to the day that
and we're
we
married
met.
December 10th, 1972,
Yeah,
which
wow.
is 43 years
What
ago.
a long time. We've been married a long time.
Look at the twinkle in his eye still. Met on December the 10th, got married on December the 10th. He's a romantic.
He's a romantic. That's one of the things you'll discover, is that David Suzuki's a romantic. And Tara Cullis, his wife, you know, is not only this charming woman and mother and all that, but and grandmother, but you know, she's a Harvard professor.
Yes.
She is the driving force behind the Suzuki Foundation. You know, so it's an extraordinary romance, this whole thing. It really is a love story, the film.
So for Canadians who think they know David Suzuki, because they've even seen him behind a fig leaf.
That's right.
And is in Altogether's.
That's right.
You know, this is a whole different side of him, the personal. How long have you been working with him?
I started working, my first job at The Nature of Things was, I believe, in 1980.
Wow.
So-
Dream job for all that time.
Yeah, I've been in and out of there, but done a lot of work with David.
What are your favorite moments? Because I'm going to play some tape coming up.
Well,
Maybe you want to set
hard.
this up.
That's hard to say. But
I
one
bet.
of the great things about David, that I think everybody who works with him would agree, is that he's up for anything. You know, if you want to do a film on hypothermia and you say, David, we need somebody to jump into the freezing ocean. David will swear at you and go and do it, right? And I believe what you're going to show is not far from that. I was doing a film on risk, and we were doing a thing with parachuters jumping out of planes. And I didn't make him jump, but I said, David, could you stand on the strut of the plane? And he swore at me, but...
He did? Okay, well, let's look at that tape together then.
I've been put through all kinds of things in order to get an introduction to a show. People are often very surprised at what I've let myself be subjected to. I had to get on a plane, stand on the strut with a parachute, and do my stand-up right there in the air.
Sometimes life's uncertainties hit you in the face and you have to make a decision.
Oh, that's amazing. And you were there with him in the plane?
Yes, I was guilty of asking, I won't say insisting, but asking him if he'd be willing to do that.
Has he seen the special yet?
No, he hasn't, and it's it's his big birthday surprise. He wanted to see it, but the executive producer of Nature of Things, Sue, said she'd rather it was a surprise. So he's going to go over, they're up at their cottage, and he's going to go over to his neighbor's house with the family and watch it on television.
There.
He's he's got a certain amount of trepidation.
Well, he's not a man who wants it about him. He wants it about the story.
That's right.
So.
He initially asked us to do it not about him, but about the nature of things and about the changes in science. But we
insisted.
Yeah.
You made him do it again, as you have over the years. Pleasure to meet you, and thank you for coming in, Daniel. And good to know also that he's not slowing down at all. So
no, I think we've got a few more years
well.
coming.
Okay. We'll just talk about the program, and Daniel, one of the co-producers, done an excellent job on this. Be sure to watch it tonight. It's called Suzuki at 80, CBC Television at 8 p.m. And this weekend, we also want to make sure that you know the second part of Mansbridge One-on-One airs. That's Peter's conversation with David Suzuki, Saturday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern on CBC News Network, Sunday at 12:30 p.m. on CBC Television. And today, the big day, Canadians are joining in, sharing birthday wishes and greetings for David Suzuki. You can do that on social media. It's the hashtag Suzuki at the symbol Suzuki at 80.